Guys, thanks for tuning in to The Extra Point. Here on the panel with me today is Willie, Anderson, and Zach. Unfortunately, Matthew could not make it with us today, but we're still going to go on. So last week, Clemson had their homecoming game against Boston College. Took the win 34-17 in a pretty easy fashion, but this weekend, on the road against Miami, we'll see if the Tigers can take the show on the road and continue with the undefeated season. What are you guys looking forward to this week?
I'm looking for a tightly contested game, it being a rivalry game against Miami. I think we can go out there and get it done. Miami hasn't been very good against the run, giving up 167 rushing yards a game. So I think Gallman can go out there and have a good game. I think we might take the reins off of Deshaun a little bit and let him run a little bit. Last week we really pushed the ball downfield, allowed him to throw more. He had over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Scott had a great game. I think we'll just go out there and play well. Our defense, I'm confident in our defense. Defense played really well last week, albeit against a mediocre offense. So, I think we can go out there and get it done. Brad Kaya is pretty good. He's only thrown 1 interception on the year, but he hasn't seen a defense like the Tigers.
Yeah, good point, I guess.
They did play Florida State. He played pretty good. I think he had, 2 or 3 touchdowns in that game against Florida State, Brad Kaya. But we're definitely going to have to slow him down defensively, try to get some pressure on him, get him outside the pocket, make him uncomfortable, touch him, hit him. But I definitely think our offense should be able to move the ball, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. Touchdown game, 35-28 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that one game. We haven't really had that one game yet where it's like a nail-biter against a team that you really...
I'd say Louisville was definitely on that level.
All right, yeah, okay, yeah. You know what, I'll take that back. Louisville's on that level, but, once again, this is our first away game since Louisville. Miami isn't a bad team. Not the best team, but they have played some good opponents and come up a little short sometimes. But
Florida State. They played Florida State, almost beat them.
Yeah.
And I think it was at Florida State, so I feel like...
That was the point I was making.
Yeah, and what do you guys think about Florida State actually plays at Georgia Tech this weekend? Do you guys... and then I think the week after that they play Syracuse. I believe they'll get the win there. But do you guys see them maybe slipping against Georgia Tech? Georgia Tech's hungry for a win, and I feel like they're, like we've said many times on the show, a better team. Do you guys still think they're a better team than the record shows, or are they the kind of trash team that the record displays?
I think... I've been saying this for weeks now. I think that I think they are a way better team than what the record shows. I didn't think the Clemson Georgia Tech game was going to be a good game, or it was going to be a closer game. I thought Georgia Tech was going to give us a run for our money. I'm still expecting them to get a significant win here, and I think it might come against Florida State. Going back even further, I thought if we were going to win one of those big 3, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, FSU at home, I thought it was going to be Georgia Tech. So I'm looking for Georgia Tech to actually come out there with an upset here and against Florida State. Unfortunately, hopefully, I want Florida State to win to make it a little bit better game when Florida State comes here. But Georgia Tech is a good team. Georgia Tech is, I don't know, it's going to be tough.
I think Georgia Tech is a better team than their record shows, but I don't think they get the upset against Florida State this weekend. Florida State's offense, they put up big numbers against Louisville last week, and I think Everett Golson is really starting to pick up the offense right now. He was 26 of 38, 372 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Dalvin Cook was just as good with 22 carries, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I think their offense right now is clicking, and I don't think Georgia Tech is going to get the win this weekend.
I don't think so either, and I don't think Georgia Tech is better than what their record shows. Obviously I'm not a big fan of that triple option offense, but they're not very good against the run. Wayne had a really good game against them. He didn't even run the ball much, and he had over 100 yards. So Dalvin Cook's going to have a field day against them this week. I think the tougher matchup for Florida State will be Syracuse. I think if any team, those 2 teams are going to beat them, it'll be Syracuse, even though I don't see that happening either. Florida State will come to Clemson. When they come to Clemson, they'll be undefeated.
That's going to be a great matchup, Clemson and Florida State, when they come here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Florida State's that good, to be honest. I mean, yeah, they got Dalvin Cook, who's tied for fourth in the Heisman watch right now. But
what do you think about Everett Golson?
He's starting to pick up the
offense.
offense.
That's the thing. If if he really solidifies himself in that offense, which he's starting to,
Yeah.
I think they're a lot better team. But I don't see Florida State beating Clemson. Hopefully not. I mean, I don't want those words to come back to bite me. But I think Clemson will finish out the season undefeated. Knock on some wood there, but Florida State, I don't buy into them.
Florida State or Notre Dame? Who's better?
That's tough. I think Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I mean,
Even with the quarterback injury?
Even with the quarterback injury. I mean, I think Kaiser has shown. I mean, even at Clemson, we talked about that, how he did, tail off there at the end. But he still threw for over 300 yards.
He did a pretty good job running the ball.
In the
too.
rain, at Death Valley. I think Notre Dame's better than Florida State. I'm not buying into Florida State one bit.
Is it possible? That game they can come back? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it is?
Definitely. Oh, it's in Bama like 5 times a year, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's like, game day's going to Tuscaloosa. Yeah. Okay, why don't they just stay in Tuscaloosa? For
if Florida State does find a way to lose against Georgia Tech, I feel like it's definitely going Alabama, LSU. But if both teams are undefeated, I mean, I feel like ESPN has no choice but to pick Clemson and Florida State as game day. But speaking of picks, last week we had the Pick'em first ever on the show. So records are in. Drum roll, please. The winner is Willie. Willie actually tied with Matthew with a 3-1 record, but Matthew's not here to accept the trophy. So Willie's taking home the trophy this week. Anderson and Zach finished with a 2-2 record. Man, and I think there was some smack talking about the LSU and Florida game last week.
I can't accept this.
I should have been the unanimous winner here, okay? Because you didn't pick Florida. I was the only one that picked Florida. So if Florida would have won, if Florida would have won, I would have been 3-1. You and Matt would have been 2-2. And you would have been 1-3.
If Michigan would have won,
I can't accept this award. I'm gonna put this back in the table.
I'll take it back.
No.
We got a consolation prize.
This is nobody's award.
No,
You can't accept it.
I can't accept
is,
it. I
why?
can't accept it.
what did you?
It was a tie.
For one, I didn't win outright.
It was a tie.
So it doesn't feel like a victory.
Well, you just better hand it because that's the only time
And
you're
two,
going to be having.
I will admit with the LSU game, with the LSU and Florida game, I was not completely right because I said LSU would beat the brakes off of Florida.
Yeah.
Hey, how
And
many
for
rushing
one-
yards? If we don't have the number on the table, can
180.
somebody? Okay, Leonard Fournette had 180 yards.
Fournette, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, that was kind of close. You predicted over 200, so not bad. I really didn't think it was going to be anything close to that figure, but
Who predicted 200? You did?
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
touchdowns, too? I said if Leonard Fournette was going to have a good game, then Florida was going to lose. I mean, if you consider 180 yards and 2 touchdowns a good game, Florida lost. But even with that, the only reason, in my opinion, LSU, Leonard State University, as coined by this fella to my right here, the only reason why they won was their fourth quarter fake field goal in the fourth quarter. That was the deciding factor right there. I mean, if you guys didn't see it at home, it's the guy bobbled it. I was so mad because that was that in the Michigan State game.
Yeah.
Because I was the only person to pick Florida. I was the only person to pick Michigan State, and I was watching those games intently. I was just like, oh, come on. I watch, since we started this, I watch those games more than I've watched even Clemson necessarily, just so I can make sure if I'm right, I can bring it back to these two. But unfortunately, I got the short end of the straw, Florida and the LSU game.
hey, you were talking about crazy special teams plays. How about the Michigan State-Michigan game? What a heartbreaker there. What do you do as a team like Michigan? They were not in the playoff picture, but one lost team. They were definitely talked about in the nation. So how do you respond after that heartbreaker of a play going into next week or this weekend, I should say?
That kind of hurt me a bit. Looking at the play over and over, it easily looked like the punter could have just fell on the ball. He tried to pick it up, and then he tried to scoop it again.
He tried to punt again,
and it fell right into Michigan State's hands, and he ran it right in.
Unreal.
The Michigan State player got hurt. He hurt his hip, but I hope he's well.
That's because everybody trampled him.
Yeah, it was a crazy play. It was just crazy play.
Yeah. I mean, that play will never happen again in the history of football, ever. That was ridiculous. That was something you can't even write that. Okay, That was just hard. That was Michiganing. Okay, we put aside Clemsoning. That's Michiganing right there. That is yikes. But for Michigan fans, on a scale of 1 to Jim Harbaugh, how mad are you? How mad are you?
Jim Harbaugh.
Exactly, you gotta be.
Very mad.
Oh Lord, wow.
They had the game.
If you guys haven't seen what happened, which I'm sure you have, is on ESPN 8 times within every 30 minutes. But yikes.
So tell me about, we got the Clemson-Miami game this weekend. If you only could tune into one other game besides that, what are you guys channeling into this weekend? What's your biggest college football game? And do you see an upset happening this weekend? I know you were talking about Georgia Tech, but what about anything else along the NCAA games this week in the top 10 or just in the top 25 in general?
I got one game. Well, first of all, I was looking. I think there's only one game that's 2 ranked teams going at it. I think that's Texas A&M and Ole Miss.
Yeah,
I think that's the only game. But my game that I'm really watching is USC and
Utah.
Well, I was going to clarify Southern California.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Utah's going in to USC's home, and I said on the show last week, Utah's not that good. I don't buy into Utah being number 3 at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Utah's offense is all right, but their defense is almost as bad as their offense is good. People are saying Utah's legit. Utah's awesome.
Okay.
Watch out for Utah. No.
Give me some NFL games.
I think USC will win that game for sure. Like almost 100%. I'm confident that USC will win.
I would love
Even
for USC
after
to win
losing
that
their
game.
quarterback. I mean,
Yeah.
their coach. My bad,
Yeah.
not quarterback.
I would love for USC to win that game for Clemson, so we can go up in the poll.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'll happen. I think it could happen. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Cody Kessler is a really good quarterback. They played pretty well against Notre Dame, so it's definitely it's possible. Yeah.
41-31.
Yeah.
I
Notre
like
Dame is a
Dory
pretty good
Jackson
team.
too at corner. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good athlete. But I'm going to be looking at Texas A&M versus Ole Miss. Robert Nkemdiche went down with a concussion the last game, and I don't know if he's going to play, but I definitely want to see how Cal Allen is going to respond after throwing 3 interceptions against Alabama.
Yeah, definitely. This weekend, I'm not sure if you guys watched the Utah game, but Utah definitely, I'd say, has the best resume for playoffs right now. But I don't know if you watched them play Arizona State, but it was pretty wild. They actually ended up pulling it out by a lot, but Arizona State came back and was actually up by about 4 points with like 6 minutes to go. So showing a little bit of weakness with Utah. But speaking of USC, I believe Anderson is actually going to a different USC this weekend, going into enemy territory. I don't know how we feel about that.
It's not for any.
Any explanation?
It's club basketball tournament.
Oh, okay. So you guys are going to win.
We're going to beat them.
Nice.
We're going to beat USC, okay?
Switching gears into the NFL, another unbeaten went down. Falcons dropped to the Saints on Thursday Night Football, hoping to rebound this weekend. But and then how about the Panthers? They knock out the Seahawks, finally getting some respect, throughout the nation. So now we got like 4 undefeated teams. You got the Panthers, Packers. I'm sorry, guys, but what are you guys looking forward to this weekend going into the games?
Well,
Go ahead.
no. You
right,
want to cut me off.
Well, looking back at last week, I think I went with the Falcons to stay undefeated. But with Drew Brees at home, you never really know what's going to happen. And they're always a pretty good team at home. So that was a good win for them. Knocked off the Falcons. And Panthers are still undefeated in the NFC South. They picked up a good win against the Seahawks. Greg Olsen and Cam Newton, they both had pretty solid games. They're still undefeated.
I think with any rivalry game, you kind of come in, on even playing fields because, it's obviously it's a rivalry game. Falcons and the Saints, historic rivalry. So, I think the Falcons came in a little thinking, underestimating the Saints, and the Saints took advantage of that. Drew Brees had over 300 yards. Ben Watson had a really good game. Matt Ryan, they didn't play terrible, but I think it was a little too late when they started to put it on. It's just one game though. Falcons still 5-1, so.
Yeah. Staying in the NFC South, we were just talking about the Panthers knocking out the Seahawks. I almost feel like it did gain the respect of the nation because the Panthers were considered the worst undefeated team in the league. But I feel like they still can't really win yet because, of course, the Seahawks are still a losing team. Do you think the Panthers are the truth? Do you think they're going to take the NFC South away from the Falcons, and do you see them making a playoff run? And also, we've got Matthew joining us on the panel.
Just in time
He's
to
back.
talk about the Panthers.
Yeah, just in time.
I want to go back to when we talked about Georgia State being a better team than their record shows. I think Seattle is a better team than their record shows. So that was a quality win for Carolina. That was a big win for them. I like what I saw, and I said a few weeks ago, that they were the worst undefeated team, but they continued. They've won 3 games since I said that, making me look like a fool.
Oh, yeah.
You make yourself look good. Okay, no team makes.
I wasn't the only one that said that. I was not the only one that said that.
Actually, I thought the Seahawks was going to get that win last Sunday, but bad communication on that last play. Greg Olsen winning touchdown, and that really cost them. Beast Mode didn't really play up to what I thought he would.
It's his first game back.
Yeah, first game back, but
Jimmy Graham had a coming out game.
One stat that I actually kind of thought was very interesting was I'm gonna look at my notes here. The Seahawks have a minus 28-point differential in the fourth quarter, which is second worst in the NFL. They have blown a fourth quarter lead 4 times and have gone on to lose those games 4 times. They have 4 losses.
It could have been 5 times against the Lions. So it could have been.
The Seahawks are 2-4, have all 4 losses coming in the fourth quarter practically. I agree with you. I do think they're a better team than the record shows, but they need to learn how to close, and they need to learn how to close fast.
yeah.
Well, the victory that the Panthers had, obviously, it was pretty impressive. Even though the Seahawks aren't as dominant as they once were, they're still like a crazy 35-2 or some crazy record at home. They're still probably the loudest stadium in the NFL. The Panthers went in there.
Oh, for sure.
Cam didn't do that well in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, he was the MVP. He took him. He went on 3 80-yard drives, and he took the W from him.
It's funny you said that because you're 100% right. Cam Newton is a completely different player in the first 3 quarters than he's the first 4. And going back to another interesting stat that I found, Cam Newton in the first 3 quarters, his QBR is 37.1 in the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, his QBR is a 94.1, which is the second best
crazy.
in the NFL.
Who's number 1?
Probably
Rodgers.
Rodgers or Brady.
Rodgers number 1.
Speaking of Tom Brady, I think it was Zach or Willie that brought it up to me last week. He made the argument off the camera. He goes, Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. I want to hear Anderson's.
That was Willie.
No, it was Willie.
That was Willie.
I want to hear Anderson's take on that first. What? Do you agree? Is that bold or is that?
Well, why my opinion first? Did I say something that?
we need to go to Willie.
Do you have something clipped on? If I say something, you're gonna show a clip
I
here.
might. Just be careful what you say. I've always got clips loaded.
Alright, I don't believe you do. I'm calling you bluff here. I don't think Tom Brady's the best of all time. I think he is one of. When it's all said and done, he will be one of. But I don't know how you can put him in the same category as Montana, Marino. I'm saying he's going to be one of the best.
Go ahead. But
right
he's
now,
already there.
But no, right now you can't.
He has 4 more Super Bowls than Dan Marino.
You can't do that. Okay, he's got 4 more Super Bowls, but look at the team he has around him. Dan Marino did not have that.
That doesn't matter. That's just like saying, look at the team Michael Jordan had around him versus the team Hakeem Olajuwon had against him.
Yes.
Jordan's still the greatest.
Okay, but that's different though, because Jordan and Olajuwon. Well, first of all, they're 2 different positions. Okay, 2 different positions.
Okay, well let's do Jordan and Clyde Drexler.
Once again, you can't do that.
You can't.
do
I mean,
that.
that's what you're doing though. That's what you're doing.
You can't.
Tom
Clyde
Brady-
Drexler and Jordan
Tom
are not
Brady-
even at the same talent.
Tom Brady has played in 6 Super Bowls. He has 4 rings.
Okay.
He has the numbers to back it up. He's got records.
Okay.
He's played in 8 AFC Championship games. Wins his division every year. He is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Who's in his division that gives him a run for his money every year?
That
though?
doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter?
That does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
That does not
The
matter.
Panthers, no offense to your Panthers, but they play in a really easy division.
Last
Not
year
this
was
year.
easy. This year it's more difficult.
It's getting more difficult.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, but still,
I
in
see your
general.
point, yeah.
You see, that's the thing.
You see what you
are
have
the
to go
Panthers
to- see
as
what
good
you
of a
have to
team
go
as the
to
Packers?
say that he's
Packers
not
have
the
a really
greatest.
hard division.
8 AFC Championship games, 6 Super Bowl appearances,
I'm not refuting
and
those
he's,
stats.
and he's won 4 of them.
I'm not refuting those now.
Yeah.
All right? I'm not refuting those.
You can't.
I'm not.
Wait, hold on. Anderson, you said Tom Brady had a better team than Dan Marino has. The only real weapon Tom Brady has had besides Gronk in like the last 10 years has really been like Randy Moss.
Just go in his career.
Have been kind of
The first
Julian
big-
Edelman.
right.
They're not like superstars.
True
They're
number
like-
one receivers, yeah.
Yeah, they're not like true number one receivers. He's probably the quarterback that's done the most with the least amount of talent. One of them in NFL history. He usually doesn't have like a superstar team
Right.
around him.
I think Drew Brees has done more with less.
But how many Super Bowl rings does he have?
Okay, yes, but we're talking about doing more with less, as in just like you have the guys. Yeah, Drew Brees, I think, is the third youngest player to ever reach 5,000 yards in a season.
Brady's done that. Brady's thrown for 50 touchdowns in a season.
Was I about to say 50 touchdowns, or was
No,
I
no,
about
no,
to say
no,
He said
yards?
5,000 yards.
I know. Brady's thrown for 5,000 yards in a season.
You didn't even let me finish my stat. Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Because
Fine.
Brady has numbers like that too.
Oh, I'm not saying he
Brady
isn't.
has the
I'm
numbers.
not saying.
Brady has the numbers and the jewelry.
And he could have had 2 more.
And the deflated balls. I'm sure Giselle loves those.
All right, moving on, but staying with the Patriots. Now it's time for week 2 of Pick'em. Last week, as I said, Willie and Matthew tied with a 3-1 record. But we're going to change it up this week a little bit. You guys need to give me your picks and a score, just in case it comes down to a tie, because we have no more ties going on in the panel anymore. So get your boards out and get ready. The first pick, we're going to do Patriots versus Jets. Give me your pick and a score.
I don't have an eraser.
See what happens when you come late
I had a calc
is we poop on you.
I had a calc exam, which by the way I hit out of the park.
Did you?
I think so, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Home
Did you
run?
wear the
Home run like
did you wear
Devin
the
Murphy?
suit to the exam?
No, but I wore my lucky socks.
Stand up real quick.
Show that for the
Look
camera.
what you're wearing.
Show that.
Look what he's wearing. Get over here.
Hold on.
Do you just carry on a suit top when you wear athletic shorts, socks, and Nikes?
Whose socks? It's my lucky socks. This is not my suit,
What's
by
the
way.
question? I'm sorry.
What's the
All
question?
right, we're talking about the Patriots versus the Jets.
Patriots.
Give me your pick and a score. All right, we're going to start with. Actually, Matthew's going last because he showed up last.
Can we do a plus and a plus how many scores instead of a score?
Oh, I already wrote my score.
All right,
like a point, like a
whatever.
differential?
We'll just do score. That's fine. I'm just trying to.
These markers are strong today.
I know, I smell.
All right, Willie, why don't you go first?
I'm gonna go with the Goats team. I think that it's gonna be a close game. Darrell Reeves is coming back to Foxborough. I think it'll take a fourth quarter last minute drive
The Goats team.
where the Goat brings
I'm
him.
trying to figure out who
where the
he's
Goat
talking about.
where the
Tom
Goat
Brady
brings him
doesn't?
down the
Talking
field
about
for a
Tom
game
Brady.
winning, and Goskowski hits the
What's
game
Tom
winning
Brady
field
going to
goal.
do when a goat is taking his team down the field?
No, he is the Goat.
Oh, he's a goat?
Greatest of all time.
Ah, you had periods in there. I didn't see those. I thought you were talking about like an actual goat.
That would be
Taking
kinda
down the
crazy.
field. That would be crazy. That would be cool. That'd be really cool.
That'd be some
I am going
awesome
to go with Tom Brady, also known as the GOAT.
team. That's it.
And I think he's going to win. I
Wait,
think.
hold on, didn't you just say he wasn't the GOAT?
Oh, I'm agreeing with him just because I was making the GOAT comments.
Oh, okay.
I said he's one of the best of all time.
You think it's
And I
gonna be
do.
that
I
big?
think we're witnessing right now 3 of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Who?
Aaron
Peyton
Rodgers.
Manning, or 4. Sorry, I completely forgot about Aaron Rodgers. Don't know how I can do that.
See, well, you got Matt Ryan on there, right?
If you have Matt Ryan, you got.
All right, so you have Peyton Manning.
Peyton
who else?
Manning, Aaron
Go ahead.
Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady. I honestly think that though we're witnessing 4 of the best quarterbacks of all
I
time.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, those right now. 20 years from now, we're gonna look back. I'm just like when I was in college. These are the football teams I watched, and we're gonna say, yeah, we witnessed those 4 guys. Those 4 select guys. But anywho, back to my score: Patriots 38, Jets 14. Darrell Reeves is awesome. Obviously, he's been awesome all his career. But he can't lock down Gronk. Nobody can lock down Gronk. He can lock down anybody he wants. Probably.
I will argue that my boy Byron Jones for the Dallas Cowboys did a really good job on Gronkowski.
All right, Patriots still won. Anywho,
By a lot.
Patriots are going to win by a lot here. Jets defense is good, but they haven't come across a force like Gronkowski at tight end.
Okay, what do you got, Zach?
I'm going to go with the Jets, 27-21. I like their defense. I like Revis, busted screen, covering the slot. I heard today that Revis was probably going to be covering the number one, who is Julian Edelman. But I think they don't match him up with Edelman. I think they put screen on him. Screen's good with slot receivers, and Edelman really isn't too big. So I see screen covering Edelman a good bit of the game, and Revis probably covering the number two, or maybe even Gronk sometimes. But I like the Jets. If Fitzpatrick doesn't turn the ball over, I like what they can do on offense. Chris Ivory, he's a monster. They're going to feed him the ball, try to feed him the ball. He had, 30 carries last week, over 140 yards. Mm-hmm. So I like what they can do on offense, and also with Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker on the outside. Against the Patriots corners, I don't think they're as good as last year either.
Yeah. Okay, well, actually, I had the exact same score as Willie did. 27-24 Pats. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Did you not hear, Horace? We did this for no ties.
But
I choose the same score.
Fine. 20,
Oh, yeah.
27,
By the way, Matthew,
23. What?
I don't know if you know, but me and you both won that.
We both won that?
Yeah, we were co-winners.
Cut it in half.
Oof. It's nice.
So who's
Feeling
gonna,
that.
I guess we'll leave it here for this week.
Okay, yeah, so anyways, Pats 27-23. I guess I had to change my score. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like you think it is. I think it's going to be pretty close. Jets have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Patriots are really good.
Patriots are really good. I'll give you that. That's why
Jets
I chose them
defense-
to win.
Jets defense
But
is
that's why I
really
chose
good.
them to win, though.
And they get Sheldon Richardson back on the defensive
get
line
Sheldon
too.
Richardson? Oh,
So
yeah.
coming
Yeah.
off a suspension,
Can he
so
stop Gronk?
he's going to be hungry. He's going to get after the quarterback. That's all I can
No,
tell
he-
you.
but he's a-
he's not going to guard
He's a
Gronk,
pro-
but he's
a
going to
Pro
get after
Bowler.
the
He's a
quarterback.
Pro Bowler,
I can
though.
tell you that.
He stops Gronk.
If he can get after the quarterback and get pressure on Tom Brady can't get the ball to Gronk.
He's gonna come up with the guns blazing.
Okay, so on Thursday night, the 49ers take on the Seahawks. Do you guys see the Seahawks rebounding and getting back to 500, or do you think the 49ers are going to take them? What do you think, and what's your score?
Tough question.
We're going to start with Matthew on this one.
Oh, really? Okay, I haven't even gotten it yet. Okay.
You said they're playing at the 49ers?
No, I believe it's at the Seahawks.
At the Seahawks
So it's in Seattle.
in Seattle.
All right. No, I don't see them losing two in a row at home.
All right, I got Seahawks 20-17. I can't see them losing. I can't see them keep going on this losing streak. They're too good. They have too much talent on that team, especially on the defensive side. To go 2-5 if they lost this game?
Yeah.
And they're playing the 49ers, who they had a win against the Ravens, but the Ravens, obviously, you guys know, are 1-5 this year. They're not nearly as good as I thought they were going to be. They're not nearly as good as everyone else thought they were going to be. A lot of reasons because of injuries, but I can't see Seahawks losing this many games. I think they're going to win barely 20-17.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks, 31-17. Like you said, I don't see them dropping two in a row at home. I like what I saw from Kaepernick last week. That's why I was kind of in between, kind of skeptical on who I wanted to choose. Kaepernick was 16-27, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Anquan Bolden played good with 5 receptions, 102 yards as well. But a lot of questions with their defense. They lost a lot of players this offseason. Patrick Willis, a young linebacker who retired because of concussions, I believe.
That was Borland.
Yeah, so they lost a lot on the defense. So I think I'm going to go with Seahawks.
I am going to continue with the trend Seahawks, except I'm picking them to win 42-10.
What was that?
I don't see them
think the
scoring that many points.
49ers are trash cans. Garbage, okay? They lost to the Packers 17-3, and since then they've averaged 26 points a game. So that's not trash cans. That's not garbage, is it? No, it's not. They have committed 0 turnovers and still 1-1 in those 2 games.
But okay, well they played the Giants and they
Now-
almost beat the Giants though.
But
Except
did
for
they?
that. No, but it's not like
Listen.
they're complete crap. They've stayed in games.
They have committed 0 turnovers, and Kaepernick is a turnover-prone guy. Okay, he is gonna throw. He's gonna throw turnovers. The Seahawks defense is gonna get out of their slump. Beast mode is gonna be in beast mode. I can go on. Russell Wilson is gonna be awesome. I can go on.
They're starting to get Jimmy Graham involved too. That's what I'm liking.
Yeah, if they
about
got
their
Jimmy
offense,
Graham,
too.
then
Exactly.
they'll pick up.
We thought when they got Graham, it was gonna be, oh god, the Seahawks are gonna be number 1 again, and it's taken time. But just like everything, adjustments happen, and they will definitely make an adjustment. I think the Seahawks will absolutely dominate the 49ers, 49-10. Now, I could be wrong, So I'm going to put in that little disclaimer there. But I'm
Sorry, too
fairly
late.
confident.
Too late.
He's going to crop out the disclaimer.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna crop that out.
They're going to win by 42-10. Crop.
That's what you said. All right, Willie, what you got?
Anderson, I don't think you're going to be wrong. I don't think this is going to be a close contest, so I'm going to complete the sweep and go with the Seahawks. I think they're going to win 34-13. The 49ers are not good at all. They're trash cans. They are trash cans. Trash cans. And the Seahawks, like you said, the Seahawks, they can't continue this trend. They're not going to be 2-5. They're going to get up to 3-4, and work their way back up.
Do you all think the Seahawks still have a chance to make the playoffs?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
They're a better team than the record shows.
Yeah.
Way better.
Definitely.
On Monday Night Football, you've got the Cowboys and the Giants. Actually,
Showing that on
that's
prime
not Monday Night Football, my bad. But who do you guys see winning that one? That division is kind of struggling. Everyone's trying to get some wins. Who do you guys see winning that matchup? What's the score?
Giants and the Cowboys.
I want to go first.
I wonder what you're gonna say. This is a hard one too.
Where's this game at?
Yeah, where's the game?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It
does matter.
Is it Jerry World or is it?
It's in New York.
It's in New York.
New York.
All right.
New York, that's Hold
Hold on. Is Cruz gonna play or not?
Boston.
None of these things matter.
Is Cruz
At
gonna
all.
play? Because that'll swing my
I'll play
decision.
for him. I'll lace up.
Line
Really,
up for
so?
him.
Okay, I guess.
Let him go first. Let him just show the cow. Are you even gonna put a score?
No, I'm not putting the score.
Come on, man. Put a score up, man.
I don't need to predict the score.
I might go with the Cowboys.
Go with the Cowboys then.
Well, we need a score, man.
Shit, I don't know.
It's obvious who I'm going with. Cowboys Nation. I'm not going to give a score. We're just going to go out there and win. Hopefully, Des Bryant comes back this week. I'm hoping he's ready. If he's not ready, he doesn't need to come back. I still think we'll get it off. The Eagles did me a favor last week, or did Cowboys Nation a favor last week by beating the Giants. Didn't like what I saw from them last week. They played terrible. Eli Manning had 189 yards and 2 interceptions.
Willie, you realize if you don't give a score and you tie, you lose.
You gotta
Game
give a
over.
score. Put like 100-0.
I'm willing to do that. I'm
Okay.
willing to do that. You know, that's my Cowboy fandom in me. I'm willing to do that.
All right, who's next? What do you guys got?
He's still ranked, so I'm gonna go. Giants, 17-9. They could have won the first time they played the Cowboys. Eli Manning slipped up.
Fourth quarter, yeah.
Just like crumbled basically, but I thought the Giants was going to win against the Eagles Monday night. I picked the Giants to win that game, but they obviously didn't.
It's a good pick on that one.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid pick, you know. Wasn't too bad.
No.
But that was an ugly game. Eagles and Giants, that was a pretty ugly
Yeah.
game. A lot of turnovers, just sloppy play overall.
Yeah, it was not a good game to watch.
But I'm going to go with the Giants.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Giants. I have a little asterisk thing at the top. I say if Victor Cruz plays, it's
That's
gonna
not
be.
an asterisk.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
There's
an
nothing. There's nothing.
There's your asterisk. There's your asterisk. If Cruz plays, he's been out for the entire season with a calf. They thought he was gonna come back last week. He might. I don't know.
So if Cruz doesn't play, are you picking the Cowboys?
Okay, let me.
I'd say, yeah, let's do. We'll let you.
Okay, hold
Because we
on.
feel bad for you since you had an exam today. We'll let you go twice here.
Okay.
If Cruz plays, that's the score.
All right,
if
man.
he doesn't play,
Not, then.
So you're picking both teams. That is a violation. That is an extra point violation.
Yeah,
we're letting him slide
can I even
here.
do that?
We're letting
Can
him
I even
slide here. He had an exam.
Okay, if not, then I'll pick the Cowboys.
What's the score?
21-20.
21-20.
All right, I say the Giants, 21-17. Matt Castle, is he going to make a difference?
Brandon Whedon is horrible.
So Matt Castle's going to win it.
If the 49ers
Matt
are trash
Castle
can,
is trash cans.
Brandon Whedon,
He was a Brown. We
no.
drafted him in the first round. Believe me, I know. But Matt Castle,
he's a magic.
he's 9-17 as a starter with a 38.2 QBR since the start of 2011.
What is Brandon Whedon's?
He's a ginger.
They're both crap. They're both
No.
bad.
What is
They're
going to
both
be
bad,
QBR?
yeah.
I don't know. Negative? Is that possible?
It's probably negative. Yeah, negative
He had
is possible.
a game. He had a game as a Brown that he legit. I don't remember who it was. He legit had a 4.0 something QBR. A 4.
That's the
He
GPA.
had
Out of 100.
He had like 4 interceptions and like 80 yards.
Two other
God.
changes. We're gonna put in Leo Collins at guard, and we're gonna mix up the running back situation. Randall probably won't be the premier
What,
guy.
you're gonna have Christine Michael in
Michael's
there?
gonna get some more touches. Darren McFadden's gonna get some more touches. We're gonna have more.
The
It's
only
gonna
thing
be
he'll be
more
touching is
committee.
himself on the sideline as the Giants are winning.
And Dez might be back.
You think Dez can? If Dez is back, then that changes the game.
They said Dez.
So you're gonna make like 2 asterisks.
Yeah, then I'll put
So
another-
if Cruz plays and so does
If Dez.
If the Giants get
Dez.
1 sack, then I'll put.
by the end of this day, Matt's board is gonna be like little scores all the way down.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy Whedon's out.
Hey, join the club, baby.
So on Monday Night Football, you got the Ravens. And
Are you
the
sure
Cardinals.
this time?
I'm sure. I was wrong last time. I was thinking about the
Oh, we're not talking about the
Giants
Panthers and the Eagles?
the
talking
Eagles,
about that game?
which that was a blowout. But anyways, this Monday Night Football, you think it's gonna be close, a little bit closer than
What'd you
last
say?
week's? You got the Ravens and the Cardinals. Who's bouncing back this week?
That's not going to be a close game at all. I don't think.
And he didn't think it was gonna be a close game between LSU and Florida either.
This is different.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
I don't know.
All right, who's going first on this one?
Oh,
Just go.
you must be ready to go.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Cardinals 34-20, and I also added in that Steve Smith, their only receiver, is gonna have 10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's
It's kind of
seems like almost every game he's
yeah,
playing.
that's like kind of an emphasis on how little receivers they have. Perriman's out, Smitty's their only. He's obviously their number 1 receiver. And last week the Ravens. They lost to the 49ers, which you guys think are trash cans. I think they're a little above trash cans, but not by much. So
Recycling bin?
yeah, the recycling
recycling.
bin. There you go. There you go. And then the Cardinals. I still don't know how the Cardinals lost to the Steelers.
That's an easy one.
Carson Palmer threw an
They didn't
interception.
score as many points.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Basically.
Okay. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. The Cardinals, they're still a really good team with Palmer. Ellington's getting healthier and healthier. They still have Chris Johnson. They still got the never aging Larry Fitzgerald. So I still think Cardinals are going to win 34-20, but it'll be a somewhat close game.
Don't forget about Brown.
And John Brown, he's pretty good too.
10 catches, 196 yards last week.
And a fumble.
10 catches,
And a
196.
fumble.
10 catches,
You only lose 2
196
fantasy
yards
points with
last week.
fumble.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals 42-17. I think they win big. I think Carson Palmer bounces back. He threw a late interception against the Steelers that hurt. He just missed the read. He had a receiver underneath and opted to go deep in double coverage. The safety moved over, jumped the route, caught the interception. But one thing about the Cardinals, they struggled to run the ball. They only ran for 55 yards. And they had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and the fumble that I mentioned. But I see the Cardinals bouncing back, Carson Palmer bouncing back. They have to get their running game going, definitely. And I see them getting the win over the Ravens. But I do think Steve Smith has a big game.
Oh, yeah,
I
always a
wouldn't
big
say 2 touchdowns. I'd say 1, maybe about 140, 130 yards. But
Okay, yeah.
he's going to have a big game.
On Pat Pete.
Well, they're going to move him around. Patrick Peterson is going to be guarding the whole game.
Yeah.
He's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I'm not
What do
going
you
to
say?
lie.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this game. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than you guys think.
30-20.
I think the Ravens are going to have a chance at the end to do it, but they won't do it because they don't have any receivers.
Except for
Do you think they're going to score 24 points against
Yeah.
the Cardinals after you just mentioned Patrick Peterson?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Tyrann Mathieu, too?
They let Martavis Bryant go off
Oh,
though.
man.
They did let him go off. He had I don't even know.
He
the
had
stat
2
line.
touchdowns.
2 touchdowns and 100 and something yards. He went off.
I think Joe
Uh,
Flacco will get 3 touchdowns for the
6 receptions,
He'll probably throw 2
137 yards.
interceptions
Yeah,
as well.
he's-
You think you'll get 3 touchdowns?
I think he'll get 3 touchdowns, throw 2 interceptions, maybe 3 interceptions.
Well, if he throws 3 interceptions, I'm pretty sure they have more than 30 points. Hopefully.
All right. Hold on. I got to make sure
I
that our
think so.
shows. Yeah, it's about time for some knowledge here. All right, so I'm going with the Ravens.
Really?
28-24. It's going to be a close game, and here's why.
Okay.
Now, the Cardinals are -6 turnover differential in their losses, in their 2 losses. Okay? They're +9 in their 4 wins. Okay? So, there's a big difference there. Now, turn the page. Let's see what I have on the Ravens here. All 6 of the Ravens games have been decided by 6 points or fewer.
6 points right here.
6 points, right? Yeah, that's true. Now, that shows me, 1, they're getting a little unlucky, and 2, that they're due for a win. And I think here, the Cardinals are on a kind of a turnover streak here. As you've seen here, they've lost 2 of their last 3 now, and they've averaging 3 turnovers per game. I think the Ravens will get their second win of the season. I think it's not going to be by much, but I think the Ravens will be 2-5, and the Cardinals will be 4-3 going into Week 8.
Well, you said the Ravens or the Cardinals are +9 when they win the turnover battle, right?
No,
I mean they have plus
when they
when they
win.
win. Okay. Well, doesn't Joe Flacco throw a lot of interceptions? Doesn't he turn it over a lot?
I'm talking about the Cardinals here, buddy.
Yeah, I know. And then the Cardinals will if Joe Flacco's turning it over.
I'm talking about the Cardinals turnovers. I don't care about so much as the Ravens turnovers. I'm looking at the Cardinals themselves. I'm saying when the Cardinals win, they're +9 turnover in turnovers.
So they're forcing.
Different. So they're forcing more turnovers
okay.
than.
Well, it helps that Joe Flacco turns the ball over a lot.
I get your point.
I'm trying to, yeah.
I'm not sure if I follow right now.
He's basically saying since Joe Flacco turns the ball over,
that they're going to force more
helping-
turnovers.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it'll be to the Cardinals' advantage.
He's doing some football calculus.
That's basically.
Yeah, I didn't have the exam today. I wasn't studying for calculus today, so apparently that gives me a leg down. But hey, you have your opinion and I have mine.
Hey, I forgot to mention. Yeah, the winner gets the trophy, but the loser, last place, they get a prize too. I'm bringing the loser a prize next week. You'll have to find out what it is.
What are the middle people
Please
get?
do not bring those eggs.
No.
Please.
But
I'll take
this is your
those.
chance right now. Look into the camera, okay? Less than 1 week away, the NBA season starts. Look right into the camera. Give me some of your knowledge for this season. And believe me, we're going to test it as the season goes on.
It's still time for some knowledge. It's still
to
time
drop
for
some
some
fire.
knowledge.
Let's hear it.
And
Let's hear it.
I'm going to say this, okay? Cavs coming out of the East, no doubt.
That's
No doubt.
no doubt.
Unless Kyrie and
no.
Kevin Love go down big time. But if 2 of the 3 are healthy for the whole season and all 3 are healthy for 3/4 of the season, Cavaliers are going to win, no doubt.
100% chance.
Hold on.
100% chance. Nobody.
One question.
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody.
All right.
Is coming out of the East if the Cavs are healthy.
So what about
Nobody.
re-signing Tristan Thompson?
Nobody. Which happened today. 5 years,
Yeah, it
18
happened.
million.
Hey, you're
Alright.
asking for a replay right there with the whole
Alright. Hold on. I agree. The Cavs are coming out of the East, but
Nobody.
I think you need to back off of that. Nobody.
Nobody.
It's not 100%.
It's not 100.
You're right. I'm gonna back off the ledge here. It's 110% if the Cavs are healthy.
No. I think it's about
5.100% healthy.
90 to 95% chance that the Cavs come out. We cannot forget
If
about
they're
the
not
Miami
healthy.
Heat.
100%
We
if they're
cannot
healthy.
forget about the Miami Heat are gonna have something to say about it.
The Heat, the Bulls.
I don't know if they're. I don't think that
That's
they'll
right.
beat the Cavs.
The only
I don't
time the
think
Heat
they're
are
gonna
coming
beat
out
the
of the
Cavs.
East is in their wet dreams. What are you talking about?
The Miami Heat, they got better this offseason. They got healthy this offseason. I think they're gonna have something to say about it. I don't think that they'll come out of the East, but I think they might have something to say about the Cavs coming out of the East.
All right.
At
Yeah,
least
they might say, "Oh no, don't do it," but they're gonna do
they're
it.
gonna give the Cavs a better
Nobody.
run than the Atlanta Hawks did.
You're saying that the Atlanta Hawks didn't give them a run for their money?
No.
Didn't give them
No.
going in number one seed. Hawks were number 1 seed. They
That was-
stopped the Cavs from being the number 1
They
seed.
were no challenge for the Cavs.
Okay, yes, the Cavs swept them.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right, baby. But
I'm
they
saying,
gave them a run for their
I'm
money
saying
by being number
Miami
1.
could at least get a
By
game or
getting
two.
the higher seed, by getting home field or home court advantage.
That didn't need
Miami
anything.
getting number 2? He did not just say that.
That's what you said?
The Bulls are still
Number
in the
two.
East, you know.
Yeah, don't sleep on the Bulls either. I like what they did. They brought in a new head coach.
Stop with the
I
Bulls.
don't understand why they fired Tom Thibodeau.
Well, he
that
was
was
overworking the starters.
Well,
Like Luol Deng, he He has so many miles on his tires. It's crazy.
Ding isn't on that.
Well, no, I know, but when he played for Thibodeau.
All right.
Can y'all give me a more complete starting five?
Yeah, I
The
will.
Bulls.
Give me.
For the Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler,
The Cavs.
You need to stop with the Bulls.
Derrick
You have
Rose,
to stop with the
Jimmy
Bulls.
Butler.
Cavs.
Who's their forward?
Okay.
The Cavs.
Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler.
The Cavs.
I think it might
Noah.
The Cavs.
It might be
Joakim
Saul.
Noah is
It might be
trash.
Snell.
Kyrie.
Joakim
Noah is trash.
No,
Joakim Noah is
He's
trash.
Are you kidding me?
Joakim Noah is
Kevin Love.
trash.
Why is he trash?
He is trash.
Why is he trash?
He's not even as good
Because
as
he was
he's
injured
not
last
even as
year?
good as a defensive player as he used
What
to
about
be.
Mo
Verja?
Williams.
Don't forget about
And
Verja.
Shavit.
Verja's coming back healthy too.
Oh, you bet your sweet ass he is.
95% chance Cavs come out.
But
If unhealthy, 100% if healthy.
But I do like what
We
a
cannot
lot of
do
teams
that.
did in the East, bringing in new players. The Heat, like you were saying, I don't think they're coming out of the East like he said. But
I didn't say they were
They'll be
coming
like
out of
a-
the
they'll
East.
be like-
or I don't think they have
Top-
a chance
they'll
to
be
come out of the East.
top
But
I
five.
think
like
they
what
have a
did with
small chance,
Stoudemire.
but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I like what they did.
Every
bringing in
team has a
Stoudemire,
small chance, okay?
Gerald Green,
Except the
Kessler
76ers.
Okay,
Williams.
the Heat have a little more than a small
I think the
chance.
Knicks have a chance.
The Knicks have a chance.
Yes.
To do
That's all
to
for
do
the
what?
nation.
Make
That's
the
all.
playoffs.
Okay,
for
make the
show today,
playoffs.
folks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, folks, for having.
Don't sleep.
Let's go to the West then. Let's go to the West. Since everybody at the table agrees the Cavs coming out of the East.
Clippers.
Let's go to the
Nobody.
LA
else.
Clippers.
You think Clippers?
Clippers.
You think Clippers?
Yes.
I honestly I don't know. There's the Clippers,
Yes,
there's
it's
the
wide
Thunder,
open. You
there's
can
the
make a case for
Spurs,
any
there's the
team.
Warriors. Those are the top four teams that have like an equal chance
Say
of
that again.
coming out.
Give me-
Memphis defense is something.
Memphis-
Yeah, they're
Forget Memphis.
they're always up
Forget
there.
Memphis.
They can't
Forget
shoot threes.
Memphis.
They're always
Give
like
me your top
a step
four.
below.
Give me your top four again.
Like
In any order?
in
or
any
three?
order or like
Any
1,
order.
2,
Just
okay.
like you just did. Go ahead.
The
Spurs.
Warriors, the Spurs, the Clippers, and what was
Rockets.
Oh, no, the Thunder.
The Thunder, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought
And then
you
the
were gonna
Rockets
say-
and the Grizzlies are below them.
I wouldn't even put the Grizzlies on the same level as the Rockets.
You wouldn't? I would.
All they do is play defense. They don't do anything else. They can't score points.
Well, they feeded to Zebo and Gasol.
Yeah,
That's
Zebo.
right.
That's it. What is that? What has that done for them?
They made the playoffs.
Well, they've been in
That's
the
it.
playoffs for like the last
They're not a true
5,
contender.
6 years.
They're not a true contender. The true contender are those four teams that you said.
Well, I give
the Warriors,
any
the
team a
Clippers.
chance who make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they're somewhat good.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not a good team, but when we're talking about the title,
Yeah.
you know, they're not.
We
in the
ain't talking
conversation.
about practice.
They're not in the
Talking
conversation.
about
What were we
playoffs.
saying, Will?
I think OKC's going to come out of the West.
You think OKC? Okay.
Kevin Durant's coming back. He's still the second best player in the league. I know Anthony Davis has proven to be a very good player, one of the best in the league, but Kevin Durant is still the second
Oh,
best player
also,
in the league.
one more thing to add about the East. Don't forget about the Pacers either. Paul George healthy. They picked up Monte
Who else do
Ellis.
we have? Okay,
But they got rid of
Monte
Hibbert
Ellis.
and David West, though.
What were they doing?
Yeah, Hibbert
What were, they weren't.
Okay,
they
not
weren't doing
not so
anything.
much Hibbert,
I
but
think
they've been the
picked up
defensive
Miles
back.
Miles Turner.
They're moving Paul
And they picked up
George
a
to the
young guard
four.
from Oregon.
Paul George is moving to the four. I think that helps them offensively, but I think they're going to lose that defense. That defense that they honed
Oh,
their hat on.
definitely, yeah.
Then they're going to lose some on
Because then
that
he's
end.
going to be small at the 4.
Now, you guys just have just a very funny sense of humor when it comes to that, because you guys are once again like making teams. We shouldn't even had to talk about any other team in the East. Okay, we should have said Cavs. Okay, West, and then had a good debate about the West. Okay, stop going back to the East. It's the Cavs, no doubt.
Okay,
I agree with that. I was just making
Okay,
the case for
we can
the
leave
You
that
want me to
alone.
say nobody?
Because I will. And now we're done talking about the East.
I don't think the
Alright.
Heat are that big of enough a deal. You're right. Okay, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, that's right.
I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, and you better take it right back.
I had to throw it in that the Heat are going to
Take
be
it
a better
right back.
team.
Oh, they're going to be a better
That's all
team,
I
yeah.
wanted to say.
They're going to be a better team than last year's seed, yes. But
If healthy.
a certain word
And
that describes the
they'll-
chance of
they will,
anybody
they will
going
face the
above.
Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals and get a game or two, maybe two.
I still think
Anywho.
they to the finals.
Hey,
Anywho.
speaking of nobody, I'm checking out our fantasy basketball league right now. Nobody is beating me. I may be the host. I may
We
not
haven't
be on the
drafted
panel.
yet.
The draft is tomorrow night, but I'm looking at my board right now,
right, it
and
is
it's looking
tomorrow night.
great. So,
What are you
Everybody's
Panel
What are you looking at? What board are you looking at?
the draft board.
There's no
I'm
draft.
looking at. I'm doing
It's-
pre-draft.
It must be blank. I don't know.
No, it's just like mock drafts. All right, so Horse gets first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Oh, okay.
But we've got a league coming up with the show. We're going to keep you guys updated with who's winning, who's got the knowledge in the NBA. But closing out the show, right now I believe the Mets
Safe
are
bet
up.
to assume Anderson.
Knicks take.
Mets are up 6-0. It looks like they're going to beat the Cubbies right now and go to the World
Cubbies.
Series. Do you see them taking it?
Well, I was not expecting the Cubs to go out like this.
Me neither.
David Murphy has just heated up. What, 5 home runs in, 4 or 5 games? So far this
5
postseason.
straight home runs.
Yeah.
5 straight. If he hits one today, that's 6. That's a record.
Yeah.
If he hits one today, oh my God! If he hits one today, he is so bad. I cut him from my fantasy baseball team earlier this year because he was so bad.
Now
Okay,
he's
only
good.
the best get on my fantasy team, so that's a warning to you, Horace. Just you watch. All right, but Daniel Murphy is so bad. It really makes me mad that he beat out the Dodgers because I was really hoping to see Kershaw in the World Series.
Yeah.
He's about to beat the Cubbies, and I was really hoping to see what Kyle Schwarber and Chris Bryant and all those rookies could do in the World Series. I don't see the Mets winning the World Series. I think that they will have a very good chance strictly because their bullpen is awesome. But other than that, I think Blue Jays won today.
Yeah, 7-1.
Blue Jays won today. I think if the Blue Jays come out, they're going to give them run for. It's going to be offense against pitching.
That's right.
It'll be a good series. Hopefully the Blue Jays can come out. But if anything, I think the Royals. If the Royals win, they will win the World Series.
So you're going with anybody out the AL, basically? Either team out the AL?
I think if it's the Blue Jays and the Mets, I think it's closer, strictly because it's like 2 polar opposites.
But you still-
if the offense is on for Blue Jays and they win, obviously, but if pitching is on, you're not going to be able.
The Blue Jays have a bad habit of going down, like the worst that they can go down, and then starting to win games.
Then they-
There's no in between with them. It's either
They're getting
9
blown out
runs
or they're
or it's
blowing
giving
something
up,
out.
or it's like
Right.
no runs. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
All
Horace,
right,
what do you
guys.
say?
Yep, that's all we got for you this week. Don't forget, of course, Sunday morning show, 10 a.m. And next week, we're going to take a look at these guys' picks, see who won, who's taking home the trophy, and who's getting the prize for the loser prize. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Knicks tape.
The Knicks are horrible.